Steelers, the big primetime win last night. Are they exciting? We're going to give them their love this morning. Their well-due love with their matchup against the Ravens. And yesterday we also have, sitting in that division, we've got Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. Haven't talked to him in a while. No idea where he is, what he's doing. I know he's got a lot to say about offensive. I'm one of the best offensive lines, the Super Bowl worthy offensive lines, maybe like top 5, top 3. I don't know what I'll get out of him. I want to ask him about Lane Johnson as well. Do you have questions for Joe Thomas? Let me know. And Chargers legend Shawne Merriman stopping by. 2 amazing veterans of the game that we love. The win over the Chiefs. What did that really mean for the Chargers franchise? Listen, Phillip Rivers played with them. Love that. Love that. Love all the things. Lots to get into today. Let's go. A little, I've been honest, direct, as always, candid, as always. I've been pretty tough on the old Steelers this year. I wanted more, I expected more. I have like a little, I know it hurts Steelers fans when I'm like, maybe he should have gone to Minnesota. Maybe I don't want to see them on some Saturday afternoon playoff game, one and done. I want more from this team. And so let's talk about it, because I've been tough on Pittsburgh. I'm not going to take any of it back. There's been some unwatchable situations throughout the season. I don't know that I've been inspired by this blue chip football team. I felt something last night, okay? Other than being just frustrated. And I think the win over the Ravens peaked and got me thinking, yeah, maybe I would love them to win a couple playoff games. Maybe this can be fun, and it was, okay? And then, of course, what we had last night against the Dolphins. I mean, it carried over, and this is without TJ Watt, what they did. And you can say it's against the Dolphins and all of that, blah, 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 blah. But there was a lot of juice out there, okay? The MVS, I think that adds much-needed speed. He's this downfield presence I've been barking about. My criticism mostly is, you should have kept George Pickens also. You should have kept George Pickens also. To be with DK, you need this other guy. Listen, MVS back there, a threat, catching his 14th career touchdown from Rodgers, nearly 4 years to the day from the last one. Cute little storyline. I'm kind of in. I'm in after last night and against the Ravens. That's not just one game, right? The touchdown to DK. You just saw it, I think. I don't know, I just focused on other things. Sorry, I'm distracted. The throw, first of all. Non-existent window, right? And that might have been the best run after catch that we've seen all year, to be honest. And it was so nice to see in primetime. I mean, they've had primetime, and I haven't paid that much attention to it, and I'm sorry for that. But Aaron had the second highest completion percentage of his 261 game career last night, which is actually insane. And beyond the football part of it, there's an element to Aaron, and there's a smile on his face. I don't know that I've seen that much this year. He looked like he was enjoying himself. He was really feeling himself out there, the post game, all of that. That really matters, especially in these games, and kind of swing how you feel about a team week in, week out. I know the Dolphins aren't great. They had won 4 straight, though, and they were still technically alive for a playoff spot, really giving it their best this weekend. So this is an impressive win. How in on the Steelers are we? You guys tweet me, let me know. And if they play like this for the first time all year, they have me feeling like they might be capable of some noise in January. Dost thou agree? Are they the most intimidating team in the AFC? No, they're probably let's take a look at the playoff picture. Can we see it? I feel like we talked to us on the phone. Producer Cal has me give it. They're probably maybe the least intimidating team. Well, that's in the playoff picture right now. I would say they're the least intimidating team. Is that fair? Jags fans, I know people are. I would say right now, that's so. So I'm complimenting you, but also keeping it real with you. Yeah, you got the Ravens in the hunt. They're sitting there. Hamilton, does this get a little funky playoff-wise with the AFC North race?
It can get a little bit funky. If we pull up the schedules for both of these teams down the stretch, Baltimore is in something of a tough spot right now. So if you break it down, if the Steelers beat the Lions and Browns over the next 2 weeks, the Ravens would have to beat both the Patriots and the Packers in order to make that Week 18 game against the Steelers mean something. Even if the Steelers lose to the Lions, Lamar and company would have to beat either the Pats or the Packers to earn the right to play for the division and what we would think would get flexed into that game 272 on Sunday Night Football. So the Ravens have a lot of work to do here. Both of those games, they're going to be underdogs in both those games against the Patriots and Packers.
So the Steelers are sitting cute.
Yeah. It's looking like it right now. Yeah.
They're not. They got to keep it consistent. Is MVS that big of a deal? Yeah, right? Because it's everything that we've barked about all season, and now they have it.
I think it matters, having that other downfield threat and somebody who, we know Aaron likes guys that he has some chemistry with, and they've connected a lot, in the past. They have that connection, and it showed last night. I know it wasn't like a huge stat line from MVS, but in those moments, he can still really stretch the field and take the top off the defense, which they haven't had.
So if they were if they win the division, they get a home playoff game against the likes of a Chargers team.
Yeah, right now it would be the Chargers. It could potentially be Buffalo.
Oof.
Could be Houston.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof, oof, oof. Tough matchups. Okay, very interesting. We're feeling, it's like not, like Steelers fans are going to be like, shut up, get out of here. Like, we don't need your pity, like joy from. It was an impressive game. We like what's going on. We just expect a lot out of you. We expect a lot out of you, okay? And maybe you can make it happen on the stretch, and I couldn't be happier. It's theirs for the taking, as Hamilton just outlined. It is a beautiful little spot that you've worked yourself into. Okay, let's take a look at the Week 16 slate, shall we? There's some peak drama happening here. It starts Thursday night, Rams, Seahawks. That's first place in the NFC West on the line. LA 1.5-point faves on the road. This is going to be such a massive moment for Sam Darnold. He's trying to overcome some of the issues. I can't win in big games. I can't take care of business against LA. That defense has given him fits, meltdowns, whatever you want to say. Then we get 2 Saturday games. Eagles, Commanders, Philly 6.5-point faves in that one. They can clinch the division with the win. And by the way, they can become the first team to win back-to-back NFC East titles in over 20 years. Then we get to run back Bears, Packers in Chicago. No Micah Parsons. Packers still 1.5-point faves on the road in that one. I think we all know Chicago's winning that game. And I do want to talk about the Bears here for a second. We didn't get to hit it yesterday. And, my love for Caleb Williams, my affection for this young man is well documented. Love him. I know that confidence in being a quarterback, a player, whatever, anything, any trade that you're trying to excel in, it matters. You play better when you're confident, things are going your way, look good, feel good, all that stuff, right? I think Caleb Williams does more with confidence than any other quarterback in the National Football League. Like, you get him going, it looks different. This is going back to USC. This isn't even just now. It just means more to him. I don't know how to explain it, really. I've been trying to articulate it, like, overnight to my producers and everybody. Like, he does more with confidence than any other quarterback. When he's feeling himself, it is like, oh, snap, it's on, you're going down. And we've seen it. I feel like we haven't talked to, I don't want to normalize what Caleb has kind of done week in, week out. I was so curious to see how he would respond on Sunday against the Browns, coming off what had to be an emotional loss to the Packers, a loss for the first time in a month and a half. Everything's going his way. The confidence is all-time high. This is a second-rate defense coming in. The monster that's Myles Garrett, as you just saw. It's absolutely freezing. Fan soda bottles are doing the viral thing that they always do, because we've never seen that before. Caleb was just awesome. 242, 2 scores, 31-3 win. The command that he has with the confidence, I just love him. I love him. There is no quarterback in the National Football League that has my attention more in a post-game interview. Win or loss. I want to hear him go. I can make that throw. I can make every throw, thanks. I don't know what to tell you. I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. I love it. I need more. I want more. And I feel like, by the way, what you just said, are we not getting that, like, what Mahomesy and stuff at least once a week? I watched it 100 times. I don't know how. I can't talk during it. I don't know how he makes that throw. Rolls to his right across the body. It's Allen, it is Mahomes, but it's not. It's Caleb freaking Williams. This was the throw of the year that you're looking at. The throw. And I gotta say, I'd put his top 5 throws from this year up against anybody in the league. He has better throws than every quarterback if you go top 5 over top 5. And I also wanted to say, as much as I like Caleb, and of course I respect what Ben Johnson has done, A little shout out to Eric Bieniemy. I do not know Coach Bieniemy. I've never met Coach Bieniemy, wildly enough. He took over as the running backs guy in Chicago this season. This is now the second-ranked run game in the entire NFL. DeAndre Swift, career year. Adrian Peterson, Jamal Charles, he's had everybody. If you really look at Bieniemy throughout his career, every backfield that he has touched is amazing. Whether they have the talent, whether they're not household names. This was a great, great hire for this team. And do we miss Bieniemy in other places he was? Maybe we do. At Up and Adam Show with that. And by the way, are we feeling the winds of, what is that? Is that winds of change? Whoosh. There it goes. Guys, there are some winds of change. I tweeted this last night. NFC North odds here. The Packers still the NFC North faves yesterday as Micah news settled and the algorithm and the overlords over at FanDuel Sportsbook got with the program. The Bears now tied with Green Bay. Tied up, plus 100 to win the division. Saturday's going to decide that. But there's certainly a shift in perception, and I think that has a lot to do with gaining confidence, and he is unbelievable and better. And which I thought was really cool. My favorite thing was what Hall of Famer Mike Singletary said, which he is a willing student. He's willing to take the tough coaching, the work, all the stuff behind the scenes, and yet he can put together a great fit every week, week in, week out. We don't talk about that enough. Caleb, love ya. Bears, congrats, and good luck against those Packers, which was a thrilling game. No Micah in Chicago. Let's take a short break here. Joe Thomas is with us. Let's talk O-line. Chicago's got a pretty good one. Do they have a Super Bowl good one? We'll get into some O-line, some Lane Johnson talk with the GOAT, Joe Thomas, after this. You know, I don't know what you'd like me to do. I mean, what would you like me to do?
What do you mean?
No, I'm talking to Derek.
Oh.
I'll do whatever you think I should do. What was the other?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
There's something about that, too. Like when you think about the Chiefs, beyond the offensive coordinator aspect of it all, with losing Eric and the influence he had.
Chicago's going to melt down. That I didn't even, by the way, I wasn't going to go into that and gush like I just did.
You said you weren't going to say it.
And then I'm gushing.
Yeah.
Which I know it's not going to, I know it's not going to go over well for me with Chicago. Because it's going to be like, oh, they lost, I can hear it now, they lost Micah. And now you know. But that's why I said my love for Caleb, thanks, has been well documented.
Yeah, it has been. And yeah, I mean, if you're reasoning for picking the Packers,
he's throwing fits. I love watching him walk because he gives just enough, doesn't pay attention to anybody. I just love him.
Yeah.
And I texted you this yesterday. Who we have really smart people that come and share their knowledge on this show. I'm grateful for it truly every day. Mm-hmm. Hall of Famers. We have one coming on right now. I don't remember one person being down on Caleb. Everyone likes what they're seeing. Yeah.
I mean, the talent is undeniable, and you see him, putting in the work and growing every single week, and like you said, like Mike Singletary said, the willingness to buy in, the willingness to learn, the willingness to put that work in, it's evident.
How come you think we're normalizing these throws like they're nothing? Or maybe we're not.
I think because there are
as much.
Yeah, I think there are people that still they called their shot early that Caleb wasn't going to be good, and now they don't want to. You know how it works. People don't want to give him credit if he's proving them wrong. Because objectively, you look at those throws, and there's still some stuff to clean up during these games. But you look at those throws. I mean, it's legitimately one every week. That's just as good as anybody's.
Did you see Jason talking about Travis?
No.
They asked him about it, and Ryan had a tag I had not thought of just in the moment yesterday. I was talking about it, just that so your last throw in your NFL career is not going to be from Patrick. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that'll work on him,
Interesting.
I wonder how much that matters. You know what I mean? Go enjoy these next 3 games without him. Don't you have to come back and do it with him? It's an interesting point. Anyway.
He's never missed a game. He has never come out for even one snap. Joe Thomas coming right at you right there.
Good protection, good rhythm, good timing.
That's doing the job right there.
Just right off the left side, behind their stud.
Oh, I miss him out there on the field. Joining me now, a Hall of Fame tackle who played 11 seasons with the Browns, 10-time Pro Bowler. You look great. You look great. You look a little tan. You're wearing your beef shirt. I love it. Joe, Pittsburgh, festive mood last night. They get this gorgeous win. What better gift than some prime cuts from Hall of Fame beef like you're wearing here? If the Steelers team was a cut of meat, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a great question. Hadn't thought about that one, but I ate a delicious Hall of Fame beef Wagyu skirt steak last night. And, you know, for a Cleveland guy, it's hard to say anything nice about Pittsburgh, but it's one of those ones that, you know, people haven't been really thinking about too much this year, just like the skirt steak. But I think the Steelers right now, when they're going to get going here as they make a little bit of a playoff push, watch out for them, right? They're going to figure it out potentially at the right time, and people are going to realize how great the skirt steak is, just like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I said, it hurts me a little bit, but I think they're one of the underdogs here to maybe watch as we get ready for playoff season. That might make a nice run, as this is now a completely wide open race in the AFC.
What would it mean? How upsetting would it be to you to know that I like my steak like medium well? Like I want it really cooked. Is that really upsetting to you? Yeah.
You know, it doesn't kill me, because I learned after being married 17 years now to my wife, who always asks for extra well done when we go and have steak, that, hey, however you're going to enjoy these beautiful cuts of beef, that's between you and whoever you believe in as a higher dignitary in power. So that's okay if you like it like that. But I would encourage you, okay, I'm going to send you some Hall of Fame beef.
Okay.
Because of the amazing marbling of our Wagyu. The reason people don't usually like rare or medium rare is because it's real tough and chewy, but the Wagyu is buttery, it's tender, it's got this amazing mouthfeel because of that marbling, that you get the beefy flavor with a medium rare, and it still melts in your mouth like a nice fatty ribeye that's done medium well. So
I'm very into it. I'm very into steak, but I do like I'll order it, and I'm like, I'll have to preface the table and just say, shut up, I do what I want, I eat what I want, you're not eating it, calm down. And then I always say, like, can I have it medium well? And I'm like, well, like medium, but like, you know, like bring it, like, I don't want to say well. I like that your beautiful wife of 17 years is comfortable saying extra well done. You know what I tell you that what I've done once, Joe? I have lied and said that I'm pregnant, because I think you can't have, that's another card that I play. Actually, regularly, I'll be like, I'm pregnant, I have to have it really well done. And it works, because that's like what has to happen. So
it is funny though. Everyone's afraid to like tell the chef that they're going to like offend them, that they're going to eat a well-done steak. But trust me, you're not the only person on earth that has ordered from that chef something very well done. And at this point, they don't really care, as long as you're ordering it and enjoying the cooking.
Enjoying the cooking and the amazing beef from Hall of Fame beef. You know this division well, right? You're saying they might be an underdog, these Steelers. The AFC North's been seesawing a bit. Who wants this thing, right? Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Bengals out. Who do you think ends up winning the division?
I think it's going to end up being Pittsburgh. Honestly, they're sitting at 8-6 right now. And when you have this division that's kind of back and forth, like you mentioned, I think it makes teams battle hardened. And that's why I was mentioning earlier, like Pittsburgh to me is actually set up for a nice little playoff run, because they have gone through the ups and downs of a season. They've gone through that adversity and that turmoil. And I think oftentimes when you come out of it and you win a division, like I think they're going to do, you get into the playoffs, like that brings you together as a team and gives you a belief that maybe these teams that have been kind of coasting through most of the season, like a New England, they don't have that right now, because they've never been in the fire that is definitely surely going to happen throughout a playoff run, where you're going to be behind and you're going to be questioning what's going on and if you're going to be able to win. But a team that's already been through that has those veterans on their team like a Pittsburgh, I think they're well positioned for success in the playoffs.
Who do you like in the AFC as a whole? If we take, it's a fun year, right? Because it's not, sadly, not the Chiefs' year. Patrick Mahomes going down with the season-ending injury. You know, it's them being out is urgency for everybody else to take advantage. The Broncos are on top. They've only lost 2 games. Great defense, of course. Texans, great defense. Bills, last couple of weeks have shown some consistency I haven't really seen all season. And then they just got the win over the Pats. Who do you like in the AFC?
Yeah, to me, I always ask myself the question, like, what's the quarterback I trust the most in the AFC? Who's that guy that's going to be able to take your team and bring you back from a deficit with 2 minutes left in the game? You got to score a touchdown to be able to win. And to me, that's Josh Allen. That's the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, he's probably the leader in the clubhouse right now, in my opinion, for NFL MVP. He showed an amazing comeback last weekend against the New England Patriots, and he's the guy I trust to get me what I need down the stretch. I know their defense hasn't always been great, but to me, it's all about that quarterback position and who do I trust and who's got the most experience. Without Patrick Mahomes this year, it's Josh Allen's time.
And over in the NFC is where we actually do find the MVP favorite. I don't know if we can see the odds either for MVP or just the standings of the NFC. It's the Rams. Stafford is like big time. He's just been unbelievable at his age, who knew that now would come maybe some of the best highlights that we've seen out of Stafford for over a decade. Can we see the NFC odds really quick? Who's sticking out to you here? And I know you're thinking quarterback, so where does your head go?
Yeah, I like Matt Stafford. Guy's got experience. He knows what it's like to be on top. He's got a team that's playing great football. Very few holes on that offense, on that defense, and their special teams obviously very well coached. And they got that confidence factor. They got that belief. And when you got a quarterback like Matt Stafford that's playing the way that he is, that's a team that believes that it's their destiny to go back to the Super Bowl and win it.
Joe, so we're saying Rams, Bills, Super Bowl in Santa Clara. I like it.
Yeah, I'll be cheering for the Bills. You know, as a Browns player, as now a Browns fan, we kind of cheer for some of those underdog teams that haven't won their Super Bowl yet. I always kind of have a soft spot for the Lions, soft spot for the Bills, and I love watching Josh Allen play. So I'd love to see him finally be anointed the champion that I think he's deserved for a few years. In your eyes, who, you can, up to three, I would love to hear like your top three Super Bowl caliber O-lines right now. Who do you like? Well, Denver's up there. I think they've actually probably been playing the best out of all the offensive lines in the NFL this season. They play so well together. They understand how to open up lanes in the running game. They're giving their quarterback time to throw. And I think they're the offensive line that surprised me probably the most this season. And it's really been a little bit of a margin there between them and number two. It's so funny because I feel like we talk about everything low-hanging with the Broncos. They're well coached. Sean Payton's a key. You can put faith in him. And Bo put together 4 quarters. And they've got this defense that's going to carry them to the Super Bowl. If they go to the Super Bowl, it's because of this offensive line. I am convinced. I'm looking at this. They've given up the fewest sacks all season. They're allowing the lowest sack rate in the league. Ben Powers going to come back. I don't know that you could go and ask the really fervent football fans to name the guys on this O-line. You know, people think Garrett Bowles with the baby and Quinn Miners with the snake that he had during the draft. I remember that. But this is a Super Bowl offensive line. I'm so glad that you said that. Yeah, I mean, they're awesome. You look at their tackle play has been really good. Garrett Bowles is playing great football. My guy, Quinn Miners, grew up right down the road from me. I think he's from Hartford, Wisconsin. Used to play against Hartford's youth football team when I was growing up. And obviously, he's got a great story going to Division III, UW-Whitewater. And he's kind of that tough, smash-mouth, blue-collar guy you got to have as a guard on your team. And McGlinchey out there at tackle. I mean, they're solid all the way across the board. They're giving Bo Nix time to throw. And I think there's a great synergy between their quarterback, between their receivers and their offensive line, understanding where the quarterback needs to be, how they need to run their fakes in the play action game, and giving them the time and the space to be able to find guys down the field. I mean, it's a really good team. And if I don't choose the Buffalo Bills, I'm really liking the Denver Broncos. It's because of that great balance and that great offensive line that they have. You're making my producer, Cal, so happy because all he talks about is this Broncos O-line. And he was like, please, I hope he says him. I hope he says the Broncos. Do you think they should run more given how good their O-line is? I don't know. I think they're doing pretty good right now. 12-2, first place in the AFC West. Fair. I think they're doing just all right. I mean, you'd love to say as an offensive line, run the ball more, but I think it's always a careful balance between the run and the pass that keeps you dangerous and keeps the defenses on their toes. And, you know, to be able to have that run game when you need it, you know, you're in the playoffs, you're in your 4-minute offense, you're trying to close a game out, you got to have it. But there's going to be a moment when they're behind and they need to throw the ball. And so I think having that balance and giving Bo Nix as many reps as you can in this offense this season, especially with him playing really great football, I think that's a great approach for them. Joe is kinder than I. Coach Sean Payton, if you were watching, I'm trying to think of who's their matchup this week. Who do the Broncos have? I don't know, but I know that they only had 89 yards on the ground last week.
They've only gone over
I think they got
100 rushing
Jacksonville,
yards
right?
once in the last 5 weeks. So, coach, not going to cut it for me. Want you to go to the Super Bowl. Okay, I want to ask you about Lane Johnson because he's set to practice. He's been out since week 11. Philly has gone 1-3 since. Not a coincidence. Hurt, Saquon, AJ, they are stars. Has this stretch shown you how important Lane actually is to this offense? Now, actually, that's a dumb question because you, of course, know how important he is. Can you explain to me and to fans how important he is given that?
Well, he's critical. Obviously, we know what he's done throughout his career, protecting the edge, right? Which, if you can't protect your edges, you got no chance because your quarterback's got no space. Maybe he'll be able to step up a little bit, but he's constantly getting squeezed. And Lane has always been really, really good. You can see it there in the run game, opening up those huge lanes for Saquon Barkley. And what that does is it makes the defense afraid, right? Because they're afraid of getting beat with the huge home run, explosive run plays right behind that big guy, Lane Johnson, doing the 360s right there. I love when offensive linemen do the spin when they spin thing. And he's just so important because he sets up their running game. He gives them time in the passing game to make explosive throws down the field, to find A.J. Brown, to find those weapons. And when he hasn't been in there, they've really been handicapped on offense. And I don't think they're good enough as a group or individually out there to be able to win without that offensive line, to be dominant in the run game, to set things up for the pass game.
I want to talk about your Browns.
Ooh, we have to.
After having his best game as a pro, Week 14, SHEDEUR took a little bit of a step back against Chicago, tough squad. Has he shown enough for the team to consider him as the next year's starter?
I don't think he's shown enough yet. Asked me a couple weeks ago, I would have been a little bit higher on him, but last week against the Bears did not make a lot of great decisions. He made some really nice throws, which I think it keeps your optimism high as a fan, as somebody that wants to see SHEDEUR take over that spot. But his receivers are playing hot potato with the ball and passing it off to the defenders there from the Bears. So he's not getting a lot of help. He's got 4 offensive linemen that are injured. So it is a little bit difficult to give a true analysis and evaluation of how he is doing and if he can be the franchise quarterback. But I still think with these last 3 games of the season, they're so important because if he can continue to show a little bit of growth, eliminate some of those mistakes that are caused by just not seeing exactly where the defense is and not understanding the coverage, he's shown enough big play ability to push the football down the field, to be able to rise to the occasion. When you need those points, he can get them for you. He's shown a couple weeks ago, driving down the field in the 2-minute drill, plunging into the end zone, running the football, making those decisions that he's got the ice water in his veins that you need if you want to be a franchise quarterback in the NFL. So optimism's still high, but there's still some meat on that bone that we needed to see in these last few games to say that we don't want to draft a first-round quarterback.
Right.
We want to go with SHEDEUR, and we want to build around him with those 2 first-round picks that they have.
They got Buffalo at home this week. Wouldn't that be a great game for Myles to get his 1.5 sacks? 1.5 sacks
every week
shy.
is, but I think for him to sack Josh Allen, I think would be a fitting way for him to get the record, because whoever that quarterback is that gives up that sack or gets sacked to break the record, I mean, you're part of that memory. You're part of that moment. You're part of NFL history, right? And I think it's cool. Like Brett Favre was the one when I was a kid, got sacked by Michael Strahan, and those guys were kind of tied. Of course, Brett kind of took a little flop and gave it to him a little bit. But I think it's great, you know, when I think about a pitcher, right? Or if you have a great pitcher and you get your 3,000th hit or you set a home run record or something, like, yeah, you don't always want to be known for that guy that gave that up in that moment. But I think as you get time to be kind of separated from it, it is special to be tied together in NFL history, especially a guy like Josh Allen, who I think most people think he's going to end up in the Hall of Fame when he's done, and Myles Garrett certainly will be in the Hall of Fame when he's done. Have that moment for the NFL, for the history, the legacy of the game, but also, to me, the sack record, that's one of the coolest records, one of the most important records in the NFL.
Because it's so freaking hard to do. It's almost impossible. Are you saying right now that Deion Dawkins should give up the block and just let Myles Garrett go? Like, what are we saying here? What are you talking about?
So this would be my perfect scenario. Okay. If I'm a Buffalo Bill fan, if I'm just an NFL fan, not a Browns fan, I'm taking my Browns fan hat off for a second. I would love to see Deion, who's a all-pro, amazing tackle, one of my boys, block but have Josh Allen hang on to the ball and start running around for a really long time. And they're winning the game. It's the fourth quarter. Miles chases them all over the field like he's running 65 yards, and he gets the sack because Josh just hangs onto the football. So it's not any of the offensive linemen to blame. Josh is not getting hurt. He's not making a big play, but Miles gets the record. I think that would be the perfect way for him to get it.
I think Josh does not want to be tied to Myles Garrett for that. I also don't think that Josh or Dion or anybody on that O-line thinks that they necessarily need to help Myles Garrett get home and get to him to get this record. It is so incredible what he's done, especially just with how poorly the team has played. It is hard. You have less opportunities to get sacks when you're always down big in games. How impressed are you with Myles Garrett this year?
I said going into the season that he is the best defensive player in NFL history. Of course, I'm biased. I'm a Browns guy. People maybe were like, well, you know, you forgot about Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White. Yeah, those guys are amazing. Trust me. Three of the greatest you're talking about right there of all time. Bruce Smith, throw him in there. But what Myles is doing right now is very difficult to contextualize in the context of this season and to think about it. But when we look back and you're able to watch what he's done the whole year, 5-10 years from now, you'll realize that nobody's ever played the position like he's playing right now. He's getting these sacks, like you mentioned, for a team that's losing for the most part. And to get sacks when you're losing is really hard. Trust me, when we won games, I hardly ever gave up a sack because your quarterback's not hanging onto the ball. He's not forced to try to push the ball down the field. And then when you also consider that Myles is getting double teamed every week, doesn't matter if he's going against Trent Williams or Deion Dawkins or Lane Johnson, they're double teaming him because there's nobody in the NFL right now or ever that could block Myles one-on-one consistently.
You are here, my friend, not just to promote meets or give us your Super Bowl pick, which you did, which is awesome. What is this? I got a little gift. It's Uno Elite right here. I don't know much about it, but I know that there's a championship in Vegas in February where the winner walks away with 10 grand. That's some serious dojo.
Yeah, $10,000 and the highly coveted Uno Elite trophy, which you're going to have kids all over the world bowing down in your presence if you are the Uno Elite trophy holder, because a lot of people like me growing up, you played a bunch of Uno with mom, with dad, with grandma, with the family. It's an amazing, fun game. It's easy for kids to learn. As an adult, it's fun to play with your kids. Everybody gets competitive. My family, we always walk away, somebody's in tears, but that's a good life lesson. Not everybody wins. There's not handouts here in life. And so Uno's putting together this Uno Elite playoff tournament at hobby shops all across the nation, free to participate, free to register and enter. And then they're going to pick a few people to go out to Vegas. 3 days, 2 nights, all expenses paid to Vegas to go compete for 10 grand, walking away with a lot of Benjamins and that coveted trophy. It's a lot of fun. And it's a cool thing that Uno is doing to help promote their game, obviously, but give people an opportunity to play something that's a great family game that you're seeing a rise in popularity as there's so many distractions in video games I can't even figure out how to turn on anymore. Back in my day,
so
you just put
said.
the thing in there, you blew on it and it worked. Now you got to log in and do all this stuff, but boom, Uno, grab that deck of cards, go play, go have fun.
Well, it comes with a deck of cards and there's also a starter pack. Like, these are very official. The second I opened it, I said, don't touch it, send it to your nephews. They'll lose their minds. They will lose their minds over this. It's Uno Elite with some serious dough, like he was saying, so please go register. It's a 3-day, 2-night trip to Vegas, February 8th for the Uno Elite Championship. Mattel, by the way, we were just talking about Barbies. Mattel, you want to send some Barbies my way to give to my nieces? Go for it. We love Uno, iconic game. Love that this is still around, and love that this is just as elite as it always was. Joe, we appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you. And by the way, head over to HallOfFameBeef.com to get some of the Joe's best cuts. Thanks, my friend.
Thank you for having me on. Give me your address, and I will send you a beautiful holiday care package, the Wagyu Wonderland, so you can enjoy all of the amazing Hall of Fame beef Wagyu products. Well done in the comfort of your own home, and you don't have to feel shame by telling the chef that you want to overcook his beef.
Oh, please. I lost shame a long time ago. I'm like, do you have any A1 sauce, sir? I am who I am, and I love that. I appreciate you, Joe. You're an absolute Hall of Famer. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Kay.
He's the best. All right, we got Shawne Merriman on the show. Let's talk Chargers. Where the brooms, they sweep the Chiefs. What does it mean? What does it mean? This is so fancy. 4 game booster packs. 10 card packs.
Seems really fun.
I obviously don't understand what's happening here. So it's cards to collect. Create your lineup.
You can also play.
Play Uno. I mean, it's actually kind of unbelievable how much Uno has stayed in the lexicon of, like, the world. Like, people still say, like, I just said this in the last week, I said, reverse Uno card. Somebody asked me a question, and I didn't want to answer it, so I asked them, and I was like, so, like, it's just in our lexicon. We were just talking about how my youngest niece, Natalia, wants Barbies, and I was like, Barbies are, Mattel's got it going on.
Yeah. They haven't been unseated by Labubus yet? Well,
I know, but Labubus are still hot in these streets. But Maya never wanted Barbies.
Yeah.
She wanted to just be the Barbie, I think. She never did dolls. I was a big Barbie person. I had hella Barbies, I feel like. I had a lot of Barbies. And then, Uno Elite. I'm going to send this to the boys.
Oh, they're going to love that, yeah.
2020. It looks so official. Everybody also has different rules to Uno, which is always, like, messy. Always messy when you have to, like, play, you know?
Everybody makes up their own,
Yeah. Like, can you stack draw fours onto plus twos? What do you think? No? I always play like, you can add, as long as you're picking up, if you put up a draw two, I can draw four wild that, and then it's draw six to the next person. That's the kind of extreme rules I like to play by.
Of course, yeah, that tracks.
So he's basically. I wish we had. Remind me. I want to talk about the framing of questions with that one specifically. I wonder, like, with the SHEDEUR, what would he want to see from him? Just.
Yeah, because you just said he wants to see more.
What we let him say that.
Yeah.
But I wonder what. I'm going to listen to that in the post-show.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, he
was a Super Bowl pick.
Awesome.
First person on our show to give us a Super Bowl pick. That was fun. He did not pick the Chargers.
And Josh Allen.
If Shawne was listening.
Yeah. And Josh Allen over Stafford for MVP right now.
I don't think he was thinking of Stafford. And then
he said he's my MVP pick right now.
But then I said, and then he goes Stafford. I think that was like a man with a very full life.
Who fresher than me? Who fresher than me? Nobody, most definitely. Who fresher than me? Who fresher than me? Nobody, and you get what you see. Who fresher than me? Who fresher than me? Nobody, most definitely. Who fresher than me? Who fresher than me? Nobody, and you get what you see.
Get in here, three-time All-Pro linebacker, friend of the show, Chargers, Bills, both teams competitive, Super Bowl bound, AFC championship bound potentially, the founder of Lights Out Extreme Fighting. Shawne, life's good for you right now. Your teams are crushing.
A little bit. I got no complaints, to be honest.
Yeah, and you shouldn't, as your Chargers sweep the Chiefs, eliminate, like, the sweetness of that, eliminating this rival that's haunted them for a few years. What does this sweeping of Kansas City mean for the Chargers? How would you describe that?
You know, Kay, to be honest, it's pretty crazy because the Chargers have been, like, decimated with injuries. Like, if you look at this team, in my opinion, like, there's no way they should have 10 wins right now, right? From everybody got hurt. Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, Amarion Hampton went down, for several weeks. Najee Harris went down. Khalil Mack went down for weeks. I mean, this team right now to have 10 wins is pretty crazy, to be honest.
It's so true, and that's really good perspective to have that they were able. I mean, the second you lose Slater, you're like, well, what are you going to be able to do? And then here we are. And Justin Herbert's now swept the Chiefs for the first time in his career. He was incredible, like lights out. Like when I'm watching those two games, and I was up close and personal for the one in Sao Paulo, it was like the Chargers don't give an F about the Chiefs. We're not we are going to give it to you. And we're going to give you, like, sometimes like that narrative of like, and you're the perfect person to talk about lights out and punching and stuff like that. But like, everyone's like, the Chiefs get your best punch. They get your best. I don't always know if I believe that because I don't know if I see that differently. But when the Chargers face the Chiefs, I feel the best punch. Like, I feel them come together and be like, we hate you. We want to crush it. What do moments like this do for Justin Herbert?
I mean, you know, Justin Herbert, we talk about his arm and the things he can do throwing a football down the field, but he might be the toughest quarterback in the National Football League, because he's playing with not only that hand injury, but he has other injuries also that he's been battling through during the season. And the fact that, by the way, that surgery that he had on his hand, I had something very similar to that when I had to get a couple pins put in my wrist on my hand. And they put a hard cast on, and I played. We had a bye week. Crazy enough, we had a bye week right after I broke my hand, and I played 4 or 5 games with pins in my wrist, and it is gruesome. It is brutal. So for him to go out there and still find ways to win, whether it's using his legs or just toughing it out. I know that Matthew Stafford, in my opinion, he should be the MVP as of right now, man. But the way Justin Herbert is playing and what he's playing through is just pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was a total beatdown of the Chiefs. Like, as a fan watching, being there in person in Sao Paulo, and then on my couch, I was like, they are just both sides of the ball beating, laying guys out. Like, Rashee Rice probably doesn't feel good this morning. Like, it's all still a thing. It's very cool to watch. It's very cool to watch, and you had a smile on your face about it. And then I was just thinking right now, like, man, I wonder where Jim Harbaugh is in the Coach of the Year odds. And I think they're trying to whip it up in the control room. I'm hearing we'll have it. But I have it right here, plus 10,000. Plus 10,000. Do we have to fix this award? How is he not? What is that?
Because I think that Shawne McVay obviously is going to be up there. You got I don't know who else is up top of the charts, but for them to still be finding ways to win football games with what they're working with, Jim Harbaugh has to be up there in that the coaching category, because most people would have tucked it in. To be honest, most teams would have said, "Hey, we don't have all our things. Let's start getting ready for next year." That's not the attitude with this team. In fact, like, the defense found ways to stand up. They guys in the running back position now who we didn't even know really before the season know about are now stepping up and possible winning Pro Bowl votes. So. Those guys are just finding ways to win football games, and that kind of makes them scary. And Justin Herbert, man, he's taking a beating. He's getting beat up back there, and he's finding ways to go out and do things to put these guys in position to win football games.
Vrabel's the favorite, and then there's 9 coaches before you get to our guy, Jim. If he's not even in the running, I think there's something wrong here.
Yeah, I think this is off. And I don't want to take anything away from, Sean Payton, who's turned Broncos around, or Ben Johnson, who literally makes me want to run through a wall. Like, that dude, man, he gets me hyped up. And Shawne McVay, Shawne McVay, is he up there? No, he's not even up there. So, but yeah, Jim Harbaugh. I mean, most coaches at this point, if you lose, arguably probably the 2 best tackles in football, if you lose both the best tackles, and you still find a way to go out there and get it done, I mean, that's incredible.
That is incredible. I can't believe that he's that far down the odds. I want to go to 4 here. Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
That's all I have for you.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers.
Okay, so this is the funny part. So me, Phillip, and Drew Brees, we were together for Antonio Gates' Hall of Fame induction in Canton. So we all talking, and we talked about a good hour. And Phil is just as animated and passionate when he started talking football as much as possible. But I noticed something when I was talking to him. It was like he was talking about a lot in the present. He wasn't talking about anything in the past. And it was always a little bit weird to me. And I'm sitting and listening to him talking. And I'm like, this is okay. He's talking about some stuff in the present. But it started to click to me. I don't know if people remember, but when the 49ers were on their run and they had some quarterbacks to go down, I tweeted out a couple years ago that Phil was thinking about coming back and playing, and everybody just looked at me like I was crazy when I posted it. And here he is. It was just an opportunity situation where he was always ready. And I'm not shocked that how he played. I mean, I thought he was going to play even better than what he did. So I'm not shocked at all.
What do you mean you thought he was going to play better than he did? He's a 44-year-old off a couch who throws a touchdown pass to Josh Downs. What do you mean better? You thought he wasn't going to throw that classic Phillip pick at the end?
No, I mean, Phil's good for a pick. He's going to do that. That's just because he's so damn competitive. But I thought he was going to throw for 250 at least or close to it, because it's just his knowledge of football and his competitive nature. And I was more surprised that they were, because he knows that playbook in and out. Same coaching staff, same playbook. We was talking to the coaches probably weekly or daily about just offensive schemes and what would they run and what would they do. So he was ready to jump in there and get it done, And I thought it was a hell of a performance for a guy that come off the street at 44 years old.
So he starts next week. Steichen's already said that. It's prime time. It's the Niners. No Fred Warner, that helps. Knowing Phillip like you do, what happens in this week? Now he's there for a full week. Now he's the man. He's not. There's no hoopla. There's no what does having Phil in the building this week lead to for this team?
I don't know if everybody caught when he scored that touchdown. He had the camera to kind of zoom in and they showed the sideline when he scored in that play.
Yep.
And how everybody was going crazy.
There you go.
That is what Phil did for all of us, right? Like he when he gets excited and he gets really animated and his passion for the game, like he gets everybody going. And you always feel like you got a shot to win. You always, when you walk on the field on Sundays, you like, we could win today, because he just makes you feel that way. So I'm sure these guys are feeling extremely confident going into this game that they go out and pull it off. And by the way, I think that if they were playing someone else other than the Seattle Seahawks, one of the best teams in football, they probably would have won that game.
Well, they would have won it if he didn't throw an interception with 18 seconds to go in desperation mode.
Well,
Why does he do that?
He had to. First of all, that was like one of 3 passes that he threw over 20 yards, first of all. But it was one of those situations where he had to do it, because they had to get a field goal range with that much time left. And but I would say this. I believe the Phil's going to look much better this week than he did then, because he just didn't throw the ball down the field enough.
So you think that that's what they'll do now? Do you think, I was going to ask you, what area, when I'm watching this game against the Niners, where will I see the most change or improvement? You think he's going to hit Michael Pittman for a little deeper stuff this week, you think?
Yeah. I mean, definitely more passes over 20 yards. But also, too, he's working on 3 or 4 days' notice, getting in the scheme. And I know he understood, he knows the playbook in and out. But now he feels comfortable enough to throw those deep passes, to get guys one-on-one. You can tell they were very, very conservative when they were running the ball. They ran the ball a lot of to the tight end. It was out patterns and quick stuff, getting the ball out of his hands. But even some of those throws he made was still accurate. That arm is still there. Yeah,
everyone that I talk to about it that knows him, and I've hit up like everybody. Everyone's like, I was worried. I was really worried. Were you worried?
Yeah, especially when he went down and he got up looking like he was 44 years old, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. I wasn't necessarily worried that he was going to get injured or hurt. That wasn't the thing. I was worried because the next day in the morning when you wake up and that adrenaline wears off, those muscles that you haven't used, those body parts that you haven't used, that next day, and any former player can tell you that when you wake up, all hell breaks loose. Like you're waking up out of the bed, things that you didn't even know was there, like a little corner, your hip is sore, you don't know what happened, the back of your neck is stiff, and you just, it's brutal. So I was more worried about the next day and how his body will react from the game, not necessarily what happened in the game. He's going to be able to take hits. He's going to be able to, deal. Yeah,
that's what the Toradol is for.
Yeah, and then when that Toradol wears off, it's no fun.
Yeah, but he seems to be up for the challenge. I liked his post-game speech. Was all about just like not having fear. It's like so Phillip Rivers it hurts. I actually find it quite inspiring. But does that do anything to you? Are you like, I'm 41, I can go out there and sack him? Does that do anything to you?
You know what? Probably until I would say 2021, 2022, I probably could have still went out there and played if I wanted to. But a lot of guys don't stop playing because they can't play anymore. It's the recovery. You can't recover anymore. Like, if we played on Sunday and a game was Thursday, there would be no way in hell that I could get on the field because my body just wouldn't recover fast enough. But he was the best option. And I know I hear people out there saying, what are they doing, or what are they thinking, and making a big deal about it. If this was the third or fourth game of the year, then yeah, you go get somebody else that's younger, more athletic, more healthier. But when they're in contention to possibly go to the playoffs with only a couple games left in the season,
they gotta win out.
You gotta win out. You bring somebody else in. You bring somebody in that knows the playbook, that's familiar with the system. So this wasn't really a shot at anybody else on the street who's probably better than he is at this point. It was just like, man, we got a couple games left. We gotta get in the playoffs. We don't have time to change the entire playbook and figure this thing out. We got to get the person who knows the best.
I think like they were really conservative. Now that you're saying this, obviously like Seattle's defense is really good. Of course they're going to play conservative. They want to keep their 44-year-old guy upright. This week against the Niners, no Bosa, no Fred Warner. I bet you they open things up a little bit. I just asked for his line. His passing line is 147.5 on FanDuel Sportsbook. Over? Oh,
yeah, over. Over for sure. I mean, two of those passes, I thought one could have been a pass interference from there was Jonathan Taylor, one of the longer passes that he threw. You got to think he's going to complete 2 deep balls down the field. I mean, just those 2 alone would have put him, over that number last week. So you got to think that it's going to be at least 147. I think he throws for over 200 for sure. Your
team is your former team, the Bills, going up against Hall of Famer Joe Thomas's team, the Browns, in Cleveland. Fun game. Myles Garrett might get the sack record. He's 1.5. He might get to Josh Allen. We'll see. Does this defense with Buffalo, I keep saying they're going to the Super Bowl. They better. No Burrow, no Chiefs. It's your year. You better cash in. And all I keep hearing from Buffalo, all the way, we don't have the defense. We don't have the defense. Does this team not have the defense to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, they do, but it's just the inconsistency in which teams show up. Like, they'll go out there and look like a Super Bowl team, but then they'll come back a week later and you're like, what are they doing, right? And you're right, Kay. Like, one of the biggest things is timing and situation. With no Burrow there and that division kind of looking, other than the Patriots, looking like they are, they have a real shot and opportunity. And sometimes that's all you need. You need circumstances. And this year they got a good circumstance. And also that 4-year, you got a good 4-year window to go out and win it all. And they have to, because let me tell you, I mean, Miami's going to get, they're going to bring another quarterback in at some point, right? That division is going to get better. And that's what's happened when we talk about the Chargers. It's not that the Chiefs are just so bad. It's not like they're terrible. It's just that other teams, Denver got better. The Chargers got better. The division ultimately gets better over time. And that's what's going to happen to the Bills. The Patriots had their down years. Now they're back.
Don't you let the Patriots go farther than you, Bill. Like, is this their window? I have this. If they don't win this year, I don't know. If I'm a fan, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. What are we doing here? What do you mean we don't have the defense? Like, this is our time. Our time is right now. And to your inconsistency, I mean, listen to this. They had 3 sacks in the second half I thought the second half was brilliant against New England. I thought they looked so great. They had 3 sacks in the second half of that win over New England last week. Only 3 sacks in their previous 5 games combined. That does not a consistent defense make. You're right.
No, and that's the biggest problem. You have to go out there and be consistent. When they're consistent, for sure they're a Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
But, you can't show up one week and disappear for 2 or 3. It's just not going to get there.
Okay, I want to talk about what's going on because Lights Out has it's always something with you. The mogul comes in, he always graces our presence when there's something crazy. Lights Out has a multi-year agreement with ESPN for fans in Latin America. What is happening?
Yeah, we just announced our partnership, multi-year partnership with Lights Out Extreme Fight and ESPN Latin America. And, look, Kay, every time we talk, right, like our goal is, I always say we need to be global. We need to be seen. We feel like we have the next up and coming, superstars of the MMA. And pretty soon we got more announcements. We just this big company stuff. It's a lot of work, but that just shown what our growth and what we've done. we have some of the best talent in the world, and it's about time that we got a chance to put them on the global platform, and hopefully we got other regions, and we're able to announce more regions here soon.
So ESPN's getting exclusive regional rights to broadcast events in English, in Spanish, and Portuguese. Like you're saying, going global. You have an audience, you're going for it and providing it for them in Latin America. That is so freaking cool. And I love it. It's countries also. It's South America. It's the Caribbean. So you're doing the most, which we absolutely love. Always great to talk to you. Who you got, Jake Paul or Joshua?
I like Jake a lot, man. I want to send him a card or something like that. Anthony Joshua. I don't see how Jake. It's the size difference. It's not even the skill at this point. It's just the size difference. Huge. And Anthony Joshua, I met him in person. This dude is big. He's my size is boxing.
Yeah.
And nothing against Jake. I think Jake's done an amazing job for the sport of boxing and the doors he's opened up. But he's about to. This is going to be brutal, I think, in my opinion. It's
like a knockout brutal? Because they can both knock each other out, probably, huh?
Yeah, no, I think it's. It's not going to distance for sure, and I don't think that Jake is big enough to knock out Anthony Joshua. Maybe hurt him.
I like that he's fighting him though, because I feel like you can say all these things about who he's fought in his past and what his record is, and like this is a bona fide. This is a champ you're facing.
Yeah, it's one of the things that Jake had to do at this point, right? Because there's so much that you're fighting somebody small like that Gervonta Davis fight. I thought was just ridiculous to be fighting him. But at this point, I think that win, lose, or draw, Jake going in and fighting Anthony Joshua says a lot about what he feel about himself, and also if he goes in there and just puts up some kind of resistance, right? Like if he goes in there and just look decent, he's going to gain so much more respect than going out and fighting one of these little guys. So I'm hoping the best for him. I hope it's a good fight.
I don't want to see anybody's ass cheeks, Netflix. I don't want to see Jake Paul's. I don't want to see Anthony. Well, okay. Love you. You're the absolute best. Take care. And by the way, congrats on everything with Lights Out Extreme Fighting. And good luck to the Chargers and the Bills.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. We'll talk to you down the line. I'm sure as the Chargers and Bills are contending, we'll be back tomorrow. I believe we have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Matt Ryan on the show. I just said that. Goodbye.